Yeah, the biggest challenge really around this wonderful rich work within ICT and productive pedagogy, some people would call it, is the pace of change. The knowledge that's available to our teachers and our students is doubling with rapidity. So I think ensuring that we've created a safe space for staff to learn from and with each other is really essential. And I talked about the generation gap being a reality. We've got our baby boomers still short of retirement, and then we've got our absolute, is it Y-Geners, the people that are at the real at the coalface, that are the digital learners, and they have a mutual need to improve each other's capacity and to learn from and with each other. And if you get that right in schools, things often flow quite beautifully. The notion that our experienced teachers are subject matter experts, they have credibility and context with their community and the children, so that our young ones look to them for guidance around those sorts of things. And certainly those that are like me, a bit more experienced, but maybe the more they know about technology, the more they know they don't know. So they lean into the young digital natives and get some help with Teams environments and Google Docs and all that sort of thing. And it allows them to work more efficiently and to keep those neurons firing as well. That never hurts. Yeah, look, this is a really great question around enabling student voice is a focus. We're really thinking very carefully around ensuring that our children's learning is focused around cultural safety and a language-rich environment, which has our children code switching between English, Aboriginal English, and often their mother tongue, which is sporadic at best in some communities. What we try to do is think about a rich project that will enable learning. I could think of a great example across our preschool. So our first and most curious learners, our 4-year-olds, they're learning to become and all of those really great beginning learnings, the massive amounts of questions they ask every day. So we're connecting up 2 of our diverse Aboriginal communities, Lethbridge Park in Mount Druitt in the city, with Wilcannia in the far west of New South Wales. And we're doing some really good learning with those children around their culture and language and around all of those curiosities that little 4-year-olds have through play and singing and all of those rich opportunities. But the points of difference and the kids celebrating an urban environment and what is a bush preschool in Wilcannia in the red dirt is really profound. And so those points of difference, that notion of place and being is really essential, and it grounds their learning in really rich experience. And that to me is life-changing stuff. Yeah, again, I think it's ensuring that the learning is engaging and the learning is for me. So our children at places like Campbellfield Public School are taking on initiatives which are going to better the local community. The children at Campbellfield, which is a small low SES school near Campbelltown, have done lots of really rich research around Bull's Cave, a very significant local area for the Aboriginal people, and they're very concerned around the conservation of, protection of, and the privacy due to the Aboriginal business that's done in that place, that it's appropriately preserved and celebrated for its potential for learning and also for its cultural significance to the local people. So it's a really good purpose and audience for the children to understand, first of all, the learning that's necessary to unpack that cultural site, but then to play a role in enhancing it, in allowing it to be a learning opportunity for them and others, and to have a role in as guardians, if you like, of that really rich learning experience. Innovation in teaching and learning, it is a fundamental thing. Even in the modern global environment with the rich technologies we have, it's still down to the relationships between a teacher and their students, the specialists that come into our schools, the psychologists, the youth workers, the educational leaders, if you like. It's always going to be better to have those people embedded in a school. It's appropriate though to broker the tyranny of distance by having them teleport in on occasions through Zoom and Teams and other initiatives. So in the absence of being able to overcome that rural and remote challenge, to have them both a hybrid version of integration into school is quite fruitful, but we always want them to develop relationship, a sense of credibility and context within the school to enable a deeper learning. So I think it's that learning that takes, we're never going to have adult learners, let alone children who are going to put away the iPhone or the nav man and go back to a Gregory's, even though it's better for our brain. We can't put the genie back in the bottle. Let's embrace the technology for what it can do as far as betterment goes, but let's hold on to those things that we know are robust and important, and that is that personal connection and that relationship. I think we see lots of work in that space where, kids in some of our rural remote communities, they make videos or vignettes of recent experiences on country where they've had an excursion and they've looked at a scar tree, or they've been to the river, or the bogeye as they call it in northern New South Wales, otherwise known as the McIntyre for us. And they can draw down upon the experiences they've had on country that are rich and authentic and are worth celebrating in a way that the rest of us can learn from. So I think those sorts of things are pivotal in terms of children, again, having authentic real life learning that demands cognitive challenge, so that being in that proximal development, operative for them doing things with their hands, going to a green screen room and mixing video and being able to edit and publish something that's really worthy, as well as their affective domain. So have they been moved, frustrated because they're in the implementation dip in the messy learning, but also really satisfied when they nail something, or quite emotionally tied to a local spot, so the enjoyment and the love comes in as well. Yeah, look, there's been a few really, but I suppose the major one is that, we occur and undertake our work at its best when we work collaboratively. And collaboration doesn't make things easier, but it nearly always makes things better. And so really the only way that we can undertake learning honourably when things are changing so quickly is to do it in collaboration. So, often even our most challenging contexts have a mix of beginning teachers and really experienced staff. And the lovely thing about that is there's a confluence of need, that our experienced staff often understand the children really well because they've got the experience and the rapport. They're often very good about managing classrooms to enable rich learning. And yet our young ones are coming through as digital natives with excellent application to modern technologies. Like I was always a principal running around with 100 thumb drives in my pocket because I couldn't use Google Drive. But now the young digital natives have helped me be better in that space, and I've probably helped them with some wisdoms that draw down upon my experience. So I've really enjoyed it. Thanks so much.